don't know. We'll see. I'll at least give it a couple of episodes. See what goes and shakes out.
Sure. Ah, J-Bob.
Hello.
You enter this session a DM, god of everything you survey.
And soon you'll be nothing but a normal mortal man.
Yeah.
Ah, how the mighty have fallen.
That's fine. I still have another game I can go and be god at.
I feel like you're like
God has another personality to play. No worries.
you're like Tony Stark, and like I come up to you and I'm like, it's okay, you can rest now.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah. See, doing 2 campaigns when I literally had nothing going on,
Check.
slow motion, was fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Then all that stopped.
And everybody's like, you know what? Fuck this. Let's go back to what we were doing.
Mm.
And yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah, so I'm glad to have more free time to devote to that other game, because I'll admit, quality on that stuff has definitely been slacking. But at the same time, it's also helped get us closer and closer to an end point for this arc. So
This is what you get for having such a long ass storyline. What the hell, man?
well, that one, that's my first campaign, and that's my first group. They're good friends, so
Right.
and they're in for the long haul. I told them straight up, like, with this, I have stuff planned up until you guys are like, level 12 or level 13 or something like that. We're getting close to that point because they're 11 right now. And then I have some ideas for what we want to do later, and I'm pretty sure that they want to go as high as possible. They want to get the full D&D experience.
Right.
So we'll see. And they're the group
So-
that is their actions are very dependent on how the potential revisit will go.
Right.
Oh, hoy hoy.
Oh, hello.
How you feeling, Cobra?
Ahoy hoy.
Hey, what is that? Like, it's such just an inside joke I don't get.
What?
Mr. Burns, right?
Ahoy hoy.
So there was this way back in the day. There was a discussion of what the when the telephone first came out, what the greeting should be. It was between hello and ahoy hoy.
Ah, okay.
Well, and then on The Simpsons, that's how Mr. Burns answers the phone.
Oh, because he's old.
Oh. Okay.
I learned that from Stephen Fry. For mine, as of like an hour ago, I'm better. It's been a pretty shit week. But this evening I started to actually feel a bit better.
Well, that's good.
It doesn't hurt to speak.
I didn't even know you were sick.
Yeah, well, I had
Yeah,
I had my meeting with Vorman Justin on Monday for
Ah.
pilgrimage, so that was a rough day because I was hanging out with Leg first, playing Guild War.
Yeah, he sounded a lot like this. He basically sounded like my character with a sore throat.
Yeah, dude, it's been
pebbles in there.
it's been a fucked week. It's like I start to feel bad over the weekend. I get tested. It's not COVID. So then I have to call in sick on Tuesday because Kathy's back at the hospital. My coworker Catherine is out of town, which means it's me, and I can't run a day on my own when I'm sick as fuck. So we lose a whole day of patient. Wednesday comes around, we do our patients. I leave early because I can, thankfully. And then Thursday rolls around and our camera breaks. So we lose an entire day of patients then. It's supposed to be fixed. It doesn't get fixed. So we lose half a day of patients today as well.
Yikes.
Luckily, it eventually got fixed, and my last patient at the very end of the day was a 7-year-old who was screaming and crying. I'm trying to stab him in the arm. So that was a great way to end.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta put radiation in you. Hold on. Because you still do that, right? Or were you doing something else?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Right. It's like,
Yeah. So now,
hang on, kid. We gotta put the isotope in you.
So now we're in the now the for the foreseeable future, we're working extra long days to make up for not only the how backed up we've been, but all the rescheduling we've had to do this week.
Fun.
So we are fucked.
Fucked with a J.
I don't know if you were gonna read it or if you want me to read it or whatnot, but that send you
So
what we got so far.
what we're gonna do is I'm gonna let you guys go over what you want your epilogues to be. Um, if there's anything that needs to be RP'd through, we can do that. But otherwise, that's kind of what we're gonna do, and then I will interject with addendums based on what I have prepared or not. Just depends. And then I have a few things to go off of, and then do the final send off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and Cake's not gonna be here.
Oh, okay.
I think he was thinking we were probably doing the vampire stuff too, because he sent me a message saying my rehearsal is going till 8 tonight my time, so I don't know if I'll make it there in time if he does.
Okay.
So that's 11 o'clock our time.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I have like one thing for Arco, but I can just kind of play it out, and then we can let him know what happened with that.
As far as RP, I mean, I like, when we I imagine our characters, are going to be seeing each other, whatever. Hey, what are you up to, sort of deal. But like, so I just kind of like thought at least, I mean, we wouldn't need to RP, just like things that Madcap would
Right.
say
Yeah.
to them.
It's all this is kind of like a bookkeeping, tie a bow on everything kind of thing. But yeah, in case you didn't see my for those of you who have the benefactors amulets, I did make them when I got home today.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Leg, Witch, and I have one. I technically have two because I grabbed
Pendant.
Lady Drake's. So whoever wants that, I'm gonna assume that Ajax takes it.
Ajax will, because I know that I have plans for him outside of the city.
Alright, so you got that. And I imagine Arco's probably the easiest one to get hold of.
Oh yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, Quinn can just sending and be like, "Hey, where you at?"
Where you at, bro?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Pendant of Communion.
Oh, can we play specific songs with the bots? Any more?
You should be able to. I don't think you can use
You can't use YouTube,
Facebook.
but you can you can do like .play and then type out like the song name and the artist, and it will search it on Spotify.
Okay.
It might not be able to play everything because some of the stuff that I have on my playlists don't play, and it's not consistent. Like it won't play the Melvin Haas metal songs, but sometimes it won't play like official like soundtrack music. I don't know what the deal is.
Okay, I think it's on Spotify. I don't have Spotify, but I think it's on there. I have a song.
Okay. Well, tell me what it is, and I can, or type it to me, and I can search for it.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Which bot's being used?
Hydra.
Hydra? That's got some other stuff that it can go and play through too.
I know you can do SoundCloud. You can do a direct SoundCloud link as well.
Yeah.
I made 2 new Madcap minis today.
Nice.
And I updated that. Where the heck is your sibling?
I don't know. I added him. Where's my phone? Phone. Alright, I'll be here soon.
Okay. While we're here, I have a question about the what is it called? The campaign that or the one shot that Grung. Yeah, the Grung campaign.
Oh, okay.
So I was just working on my character sheet. I've never played a paladin before.
Okay.
I've got Oath of Redemption with Polearm Master so far.
Okay.
I don't know what should I do for fighting style. Like, is this viable? Help me out.
I mean, paladins, polearms can work. I mean, just the same way that like two-handed, like great sword or great axe paladins can work. Polearm Master with Redemption, I think, works pretty well because Redemption's a very defensive support paladin. So that gives you the ability to. Although I think with Redemption, your reaction is very important.
Let me look.
Yeah. Let's see, Paladin. 'Cause I'm pretty sure one of your like main class features is a reaction. If your channel divinities, oh, maybe not. Oh, never mind.
If somebody just wants to suggest, an oath and a fighting style just to get me started, because I'm a little confused by all the oaths.
Well, I mean, play whatever thing you want. But if you're gonna go with Polearm Master,
I don't have to
take great. Well, I mean, if you are, take great weapon fighting because that lets you reroll 1s and 2s.
Okay.
Which for polearms is D10, so that's actually pretty important.
Okay.
So it'll really even out your damage.
Okay.
I think that also counts for the extra attack too, because it is with that weapon, so that will even make the extra attack damage better.
So if I have like a glaive or a spear or whatever, I'm holding it with two hands.
Yes.
Okay.
Glaives, spears can be one-handed, but they are versatile, so you can go two-handed with them.
Okay.
But they also, because they're versatile, so it goes from like 1d6 to 1d8. Glaives, halberds, and pikes and stuff like that are heavy. They're two-handed, but they also have reach, so you can attack from 10 feet away. Whereas a spear does not. But a spear has a thrown range because it's not heavy. So that's the trade-off. Spear does a little less damage and it's closer range, but you can chuck it if you need to.
Okay.
Yo.
Okay.
Oath of Redemption is kind of a good, like, passive, not necessarily passive, but support paladin that has a lot of good, that has at least one good social interaction. They have some really good support spells like Sleep. They have Sanctuary, so they're less likely to be targeted. Hold Person. Later on, they get Counter Spell, which is really cool for paladins.
Oh yeah. Which one's that?
That's Redemption. That's
Oh, it
what we were
is.
talking
Okay,
about.
cool, yeah.
I'd say I mean, at the level we're at, the only things you're going to get is the first 2 sets of spells and your channel divinity. So you can just, like, you don't have to worry about the higher level stuff.
true,
You just
yeah.
know if you're, pick which ones of those you like the best.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, Sleep, Sanctuary, and Hold Person as your oath spells are really strong.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, I see.
Oath of Glory is also pretty cool. That gives you Guiding Bolt and Heroism, which is interesting. Guiding Bolt as a paladin is pretty cool. You get the Peerless Athlete, which basically just makes you, like, it basically just turns you into an Olympic athlete for a little while. Then they have Inspiring Smite, so when you use your smite, you can roll, the base smite amount, the 2d8, but then plus your level in the class, and you can divide that amount into temporary hit points to your allies within 30 feet of you.
Yeah, that's one I really want to play. I have a character that he was an Oath of the Ancients, but when this came out, I changed him to that one.
We're talking about Oath of Glory?
Yeah.
That's from that's
Theros.
the Theros.
Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. What was the ability that you were just describing? I don't see it on the Oath of Glory list.
It's the Channel Divinity. It's
Oh, it's a
the
Channel
Inspiring
Divinity.
Smite. Yeah, because paladins get both of their Channel Divinities.
Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
When they choose their oath, whereas clerics get their first at first level, and then they get their second at second level when they choose their domain. Or
wow.
when they
2d8 plus your level in temp HP.
Yeah, divided to any creatures of your choice.
Very cool.
So it's not each creature gets that amount, but you divide it. So you could roll like shit and get like 10, but you could also get like 25 or something, depending on your level. Although as a grung, I kind of like the idea of Oath of Conquest. If you want to play like a chaos or like a neutral evil or chaotic evil grung that just believes in the whole like subjugation of other races aspect of their culture. I mean, they get a fucking crazy thing, Guided Strike. When you make an attack roll, you can use your Channel Divinity and get a +10 bonus to the roll.
Wow.
The only thing is you have to say whether or not you have to choose to use this, whether or not the DM tells you if it hits or misses.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, fuck, it's a 12. But Guided Strike, now it's a 22. Beat that bitch.
Yeah.
It's like Conquering Presence, so they can emit like a brief like fear wave around them. They're pretty cool. Plus they learn Armor of Agathis, which is really cool. So.
Yeah.
And Spiritual Weapon. That's very useful for paladins. Because they don't really, other than like the smite spells, they don't really get a whole lot else that they can do for bonus actions on their turn. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Plus, it gives them, it gives them something else to hit things with,
Oath of Conquest,
which is always fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that everybody is here, welcome, Leg. All right.
Hi.
So, we all ready to start one last time? At least with
Yes.
me at the helm.
Well, it won't be for the last time, but yes.
Yeah, I said with me at the helm.
No, I mean with you at the helm.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true, but that's gonna be a ways off.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna give you a year, then you gotta do it again.
I don't know, we'll see. All right. So, last time, Vigilantes were successful. They defeated Lady Drake, the leader of the mysterious benefactors. Even with the Tarrasque under her control, she could not stop you, and her plans were cut short. You returned to the city, heroes, in a way, Marquis made many offers, many of which were accepted. And many of you have chosen a new path for your lives. And now we will see what those paths entail. Who wants to begin? Don't everybody speak up at once.
I mean, I don't. I will if no one else wants to go first.
Go ahead. You've got the longest one. Go ahead.
I don't believe it. I mean, I do believe it, but
I was gonna say, were you drunk?
it's been a long day.
You want me to just jump in, Justin?
Yeah, sure. Just
Okay.
like, what's Gwen's life look like for the next little bit?
Yeah.
Up until about maybe 2 or 3 years down the road.
So I wrote this at lunch, so don't judge me too harshly.
You're fine. I was reading most of your stuff on my lunch anyways.
Yeah. So Quen promised the Marquis that the Vigilantes would always be there to protect Marduk. She also reassured him that, despite some protestations, she could rally them at his command. It was a promise she intended to keep, though. In the months that followed, she kept in touch with the others, only as best she could. From her new office in the Acropolis, she would on occasion see Captain Osric or Commandant Caravella, as she made it a point to visit Arco at the temple or Ajax at the Gull, but the visits became spaced out by an additional week here and there, and then months would go by when she would not see them at all. She did inquire with the Academy if a student by the name of Nask had enrolled, but they could not confirm. She made a visit under the cover of dark and found the pigeon perched on the roof of one of the towers. It was then that they hatched a plan. Justinian would vet 1 or 2 promising young bards, while Quen in turn would sponsor their studies at the Academy anonymously. Together they would keep track of them and see if there were any worthy to join the Vigilantes. Quen would periodically send a courier to the Academy with a rather heavy bag of coin, and a few days after one such delivery, a note appeared on Quen's desk that just read, "Many thanks to my mysterious benefactor." The Lady Quenthrith was buried in her role as the spy master for the Marquis, and there was never a lack of plots to uncover, alliances to make and break, or games to play. She brokered information, secrets, and lies, spreading false rumors to sway an election, or knowing just the right thing to whisper in just the right ear to benefit the Marquis, or more often herself, was the way. At least one assassination attempt was thwarted, as some fanatics inspired by rumors of Lady Drake and the Demonologist tried to complete their work. But without the skills and connection of the benefactors, their plans were doomed from the start. Quen also shut down one attempt to ruin the Marquis with false allegations of an illegitimate child, and found herself paying off more of Thornton's gambling losses than she liked to admit. Quen also made some time to don her cloak and patrol the Shadeborough, making sure the villains there remembered that the shadow of the witch could fall upon them at any time without warning. She had a dream of finding a very promising young bard, or even taking them on as a ward and passing on the mantle of the witch, so she could focus on the needs of the Marquis. Perhaps one of the students she and Justinian were observing. 2 years after the death of Lady Drake, Marquis Venon was reaching the midpoint of his term, and Quen began cashing in favors and applying pressure where it needed to be applied to run for counselor, while her star was still rising. It was at this moment, when she was finalizing her plans for an easy win campaign, that there was a knock on her door. It startled the spy master out of her plans. The page introduced a young girl, maybe 20. The door swung shut behind the girl as Quen smiled, deducing who it was. "What can I do for you, young lady? I trust your studies are going well?" The girl bowed. "Forgive me, kind benefactor, but the question is, what can I do for you?" With this, she reached into her pouch and held out something that defied explanation. A chunk of residuum. "So, shall we get to work, witch?" And there's a cliffhanger
She
for you.
called the witch a benefactor. Oh, we gotta kill the witch.
It's full circle.
Yeah, I know.
New BBEG.
Yeah.
Okay. Well done. Well done.
Just to be clear, it's not implied that Quen's going bad. I'm implying that the student that Justinian and Quen were observing has somehow come into contact with some residuum and needs their help.
Nice. Nice.
Okay.
I didn't want anyone to think that Quinn was Breaking Bad.
I do have a question. Like, I mean, I can go, but like, were you at the school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I messaged Leg earlier just to make sure that the general concept was okay.
I can go. I did have a couple things.
Okay.
I guess we start. Before I get to what I wrote, Osric would commend Quinn on her new position as spy master. Tell that it's the perfect position for her, and that he's taking over one of the guard captain positions. And that he's sure that she has a second cousin that was a guard that somehow makes her qualified for the other. But he's glad he would like to be spared the story.
Nice.
And then I did have one thing for Leg, for Pigeon. So I guess before we get to the proper epilogue, when they're first meeting, kind of like first meeting each other after the events that happened at the highway and whatnot. He'd ask, what you're going to be doing.
Well, I rather enjoy school. Keep doing that, I guess.
Good. I'm glad. I'm proud that you've stepped into something like that, and you're continuing with that. And I hope that it'll lead to a more honest life, although I won't hold my breath. But
Well, I mean, I might still have a little bit of stigma.
I would expect. Just keep it out of my district. I only cover for you so many times.
It's fine. There's no one that needs to be robbed in your district anyway.
Good. Well, let's say
I think I'll mostly stick to the Heights.
Isn't the Heights my district?
No, yours is Harborside.
Gotcha. And who runs the Heights?
Purple Sashes.
And what's the Purple Sashes captain?
Triandal Loreleth, the high elf guy.
Good.
Very snooty one.
I would say, that's fine. Captain Loreleth could use the headache.
That was the one that ran away, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking
He
bitch.
heroically defended the other counselors.
I did want to tell you that I was proud to fight with you at my side through this endeavor. But I worry that I might not have been the best influence in the way that I acted. I'm grateful for what you were willing to do when I was captured, and the lengths you went to, doing what you had not done before. But I do think it'd be best for both of us if we could try to not kill people anymore.
Damn, I was gonna tell you the same thing.
Good. I'm glad we can be in agreement on that.
Look, if I learned anything as a piper, not very long, it's don't kill people. And I broke that rule for a very, very, very short period of time. But that's
I learned that as a guard, and I broke that for a while too, but it's probably best to go back to that. So with that out of the way, I can do my epilogue.
Okay.
The day Osric Fierceheart came out of retirement to become the captain of the Red Sashes is the same day that the vigilante known as Madcap hung up his axe. Literally. In his new office.
Trying to hide it.
Nice.
Right next to Don Fat Tusk's hat and a set of ancient Naga coins. Osric liked that the rumors about Madcap becoming a guard captain were spreading and helped keep the crime rates down in his district. With his new lieutenant Sudash recently promoted from sergeant, Captain Fierceheart worked diligently to reform his precinct. Well thought out community outreach and strategic takedowns of budding criminalized organizations, the new captain worked day and night to ensure his community was not only was the safest, but felt the safest too. And I actually agree, me too. One sec. So I put more work into the mini. Kind of have a journey of Madcap.
Okay.
Oh wait.
Okay.
So that's where Madcap started.
Mm-hmm.
The autumn leaves and the tombstone of the owl bear. To where the campaign ended, new weapons, bloody, dead leaves, and something new for him to fight for. And there's a little birdie in the back.
Oh.
That's what we call a character arc.
Oh yeah. I was waiting for the I'm so tired of hurting people thing.
And then to his new position as guard captain, the battles he's fought, and especially the arrows of the Red Bowmen, standing before him, but then behind him something he can't quite get past.
Ah. Is that Kaze's weapon?
No, that's a new weapon.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Well, the captain worked all day, but someone else worked at night. Unable to completely put his vigilante ways behind him, Osric donned a new persona to fight crime at night. Again letting the criers and guards bestow him his moniker, the dapper blade-wielding man called the Gentleman began his campaign against the Blind Pipers.
Yes!
But he kept his promise to Justinian and didn't kill anyone, always taking his detainees alive. He kept a close watch on his former partners, ready to gather them should the Marquis require their help. It was almost impossible to keep tabs on the witch, though he was certain she was of him. He maintained close relationships with their other allies as well, catching up with Levingham and Grella to see how well they're getting along and snack some sweet potions. Meeting with Magus Elvalor to assess if there's any way they can aid each other, and discreetly getting updates on Justinian's progress. And of course, regularly meetings with Captain Caravella, his reports giving her far less anxiety than the past 5 years had. And that's what I got.
She replaced much of that with the anxiety of being Commandant.
Yeah.
Well done. I did not read the thing that you posted before, because I was busy eating. So the the Gentleman, that kind of caught me off guard. That was great.
Is that the new? Is that Madcap's new code name?
Yes, yeah. The Madcap has retired, and is so he came up with a new one. He wanted to put his high quality tailoring skills to use. So he looks fly as fuck, and he at some point got a new weapon.
Is he gonna send me to the Labenda Swamp?
I don't get it.
The Gentleman from Campaign 2. Never mind.
Yeah. There we go.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a while. There we go. There's the other critical role.
It's been a while. Making my way. Cobra, would you say that in canon at some point when Quen throws her cloak on and she's patrolling around, she runs into the Gentleman and she's like, wait a minute.
Wait, I know you.
Yes.
It depends. He was mostly working in Southside against the Pipers, so
They just see each other commuting. Like, oh hey.
It's like, hey. That's great. I love that. That's amazing. You have to change your character name in the Vigilantes thing on D&D Beyond.
yeah.
If we come back.
Yeah, and Death Hand had to get a new weapon because now he's got a sword.
Yeah, when I'm prepping for the other thing, I'll check in
Yeah.
with you guys. Excellent. Well done. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
All right, like you want to go?
I'm honestly technically not done even writing mine because I didn't really write anything.
All right, I can go. So after the meeting with our whatever he's called,
Marquis.
what was this? Marquis, that's it. After the meeting with the Marquis, Ajax returns back to the Gull, and rather than going in through the front doors, which is custom, he actually ends up going through the back and going in through the kitchens first. He stops before the door and raises his hand to place it on the door and open, but hesitates for a moment, thinking. Uh, with a deep breath, he goes and pushes the door open, to be met by Moore in the kitchen, who's quietly cursing and bitching about something having gone wrong with his latest concoction. Um, Ajax stands in the door and just kind of lets the familiarity kind of wash over him, and once Ajax goes and takes a deep breath, he kind of goes and sighs, catching Moore's attention. Um, as he looks over to Ajax, Ajax simply goes and replies with, just because you yell at it doesn't mean that it's going to go and fix itself. To which the dwarf goes and kind of grumbles and replies with, "Well, I know, but it makes me feel better. Bit of a rough night, was it?" Um, Ajax kind of goes and stands there and just kind of shoots the shit with him a little bit, keeping the details quiet. Not really going into a whole heck of a lot of detail about things. Um, but basically, he sums it up, going and saying that the day is saved and it's time for him to go and relax and kind of get back into the swing of running a business. Um, to which Moore is rather happy. Um, they continue going and chatting for a little bit just about how things are going in the inn, and Ajax goes and brings up the tavern down in the name. What's the name? Uh, Zanir.
Yeah, that one
What?
was just called the Lakeside Inn.
Yeah. Um. Well, he brings up the inn rather than down at the in the town of Zanir, stating that he's got intentions of going and buying it, and expanding out, thinking to go and find land outside of the city where he and Shoshana can kind of go and set up a home life outside of the chaos of the city, um, and is considering going and handing off the Gull. He's not making it known necessarily widespread, but it's something that he's considering in the long run. Um, as he's going and discussing the situation with Moore, he begins going and setting up a plan to go and have what's the word? Not necessarily an agent, a broker, look into the ownership of that building, and has plans for the next day to go into the city and see if he can track down the owner of that building and put in an offer. Um, over the course of time, they do track down the owner, or the deed for the building, which is currently nameless at this point. to which he goes and purchases after squirreling away funds for years. He's had enough time to go and store up enough that he was able to go and purchase the lands, and ends up going and beginning a process of going and finding the materials to go and touch it up and bring it to his standard of living, so to speak. They go out, they purchase the supplies, and he sets up a caravan, taking in the mercenaries that he'd had worked with throughout the years in the past, to go and escort everything down to the new inn. As he's going, he ends up going and sitting down and talking with some of the other mercenaries, and they've plans to go and step away, and they just want somewhere to go and set up where they can maintain a life of martial practice and stay away from actual combat. Basically, they're looking to go and set up a school for training or what have you for adventurers and the like. To which Ajax takes to the idea. So as he's set up the tavern inside the town, he also goes and begins setting up plans in the future for a boxing school that will essentially end up being martial in nature. Training anyone from sword play all the way up to just basic fisticuffs. And at that point, it's been maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, and things have finally gone and settled down. The school's started. It's still in its infancy, but Shoshana has finally gone and kicked him into action, and he has finally gone and given in and sent birds to the city, contacting his former vigilante colleagues, asking them if they would have a moment to join him for a rather significant event in his life. To which he hasn't yet gone and heard a response, but he's on his way to the city to go and inquire as to why he hasn't heard anything. And so with that, he heads back. First, knowing that the witch is currently more than likely tied up with everything, he actually heads to the school, seeing if he can track down the pigeon. If Leg is done writing.
I'm almost done.
Right, well, in that case, he can't find the pigeon and goes and starts asking around, looking to see if he can find the madcap.
I mean, okay, I know that you would be able to find Pigeon because he does go back to school.
Well, yes, but you're currently tied up with classes or something like that. Get writing.
I'm writing for this.
I know. So, Well, you're fine.
Yeah, I think he's trying not to get you distracted from that with RP.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can do both. I know what's happening. I just need to put it into words,
Focus on your words. It's fine.
like descriptive words, because it's
Well,
nondescript.
focus
That
on
was
your
my problem.
words. Focus on
Okay.
your words. Right. So yeah, he ends up going and looking for the madcap. To which he's pointed in the right direction. Whether or not madcap is present at that point, which would probably be roughly around midday, would be up to fate, so to speak.
I mean, Robbie's usually working.
Yeah, not hard to get directions on where the captain of a guard division is.
Right. So Ajax goes up and he's led to the door, and knocks, going and waiting a reply.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Mike, I would say enter.
So Ajax goes and opens the door, stepping in, looking around the door, and goes and says, "Would the short little capped one be anywhere nearby, by chance, Captain?"
Madcap would probably thumb point to the silver axe that's behind his chair.
Huh.
Like, I
So
think
you're
you know
not
who
even
you found.
hiding it now.
Nah, it comes in handy. People hear that Madcap is a guard captain. They don't fuck around in my area.
Well, that's useful, I presume. All right. Look, so the Shoshana and I have finally come to terms, and I've been delivered an ultimatum. Um, so I was wondering if you wouldn't have some time to stop out for a bit of a ceremony, if uh, if that would work for you.
Can't imagine anything keeping me from something so important.
Ah, um, all right. Well, I've got a week to go and get everybody to uh Zanir. You remember where that was?
Do I?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where
yeah. That was the town that we were
the slicers and
Oh,
the
okay.
Gnomes had
Yeah,
taken
yeah.
over.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
like I said, Ajax is going and expanding
Gotcha.
his
he's
panini
franchising.
business. Um, so he's like, I we you remember the inn down there? I've got rooms for everyone, of course, and well, I'm gonna need everyone there by the end of the week. On we just using regular English days.
Yeah,
Uh, everyone there by Saturday. Uh, the end of next week. Um, it would seem that Shoshana and I are finally getting hitched.
Took you long enough. You only been engaged for like 4 years or something.
Well, technically 8, but uh, close enough. Um, things have been a little busy. Um, that also reminds me. I don't know if you may have heard of the school that's been set up for martial training and whatnot, whether it be for guards or adventurers and the like. But it might not hurt to ask whether or not you would have any who would either uh, need training or would mind training new students, so to speak, in the martial exercises. Uh, being who you are and having seen what you are capable of, I wouldn't mind having someone of your caliber or the likes of some of your guards dropping by for classes to teach and or learn from time to time. I think that might help.
Oh, I'm incredibly flattered. I'm I'm probably a little busy to do anything regularly.
Well, no.
Time to time, I certainly could. It might be difficult. My abilities, like my telepathy, are passed on through family. So I don't know how much of that I can impart, but certainly some things I can help. And as for the guards, I think that's a fantastic idea. I think seminars for my men in groups would be an amazing idea.
Yeah, well, it's a fairly quiet town, and some of the former colleagues of mine have decided to step away from killing, uh, but do wish to kind of stay fit and active. So we figured that having a place where we might train and not be, you know, killing other people might not be a bad idea. We figured that if they're gonna be going and needing something to do, uh, we might as well put our experience to better use and share the wealth, so to speak, of information and whatnot. So we figured may as well open it up to whomever may need said training and whatnot. And well, given how uh well this city had been maintained in the past, um, figured it may not hurt to go and have a little extra help laying around from time to time in regions unknown, so to speak. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, it's seemed like a good place. As long as there's no more demons.
Not that I've noticed. At least, well, like I said, not that I've noticed. Um, so, uh, other than that, it's actually kind of a nice little spot. Very quiet, good for relaxation, actually. Um, but yes, always an open invitation. By all means, there's no need for you to book a month or what have you, but maybe a day or two here or there may not hurt to go and stretch a little bit and see what's out there. Uh, Lord only knows. Who knows? Maybe you could use it as a recruiting ground as well.
Also, not a bad idea.
Um, out of out of curiosity, is the witchy one still around here in the city?
Oh yeah, she's ever so busy. She works directly for the Marquis, but I'm sure I can't imagine she wouldn't make time for you.
Hmm. Then I do suppose I shall know the route that I must take next. Captain, it was good seeing you again. Perhaps we will see each other this weekend.
Oh, I'll be there. Wouldn't miss it.
I'll see you then. With that, Ajax goes and steps out and makes his way towards the whatever the hell it was called.
Acropolis.
Acropolis, that's it.
Mhm.
I was thinking amphitheater for some reason.
Huh.
Wow.
That's a different fancy A word.
Yeah. Well, So yeah, Ajax then goes and makes his way to the Acropolis, and as he's going, he reaches into a vest or his vest pocket and pulls out a small envelope, and makes his way in, and begins inquiring over the witch. As he's going, he's kind of looped around the Acropolis a couple of times, whether it's because of his lack of understanding of their directions or they're just leading him around by the nose. He's not sure, but he finally makes his way to the witch's office and knocks.
I hope that you're not just walking around saying, "I'm looking for the witch."
No. He'd be going and addressing by name.
I mean, I'm sure they'd know who you
yeah.
meant, but.
I'm looking for that witchy little bitch elf lady.
Oh,
you
dear.
Know, the bitchy one,
Yes.
The
I
one that
need
you want to
a
be cautious around.
I need Lady Quenrith, the great grandniece of the
Oh, God.
sun-sensitive fisherman, the cousin of the whatever.
All you have to do is say, "I'm looking for the one who killed Lady Drake." No flex.
No.
Only a few people
We're gonna-
understand that.
We would go to the library and pull out your family tree and start at the top and just work our way down.
Yes.
Until we go and find the name that they understand, which is probably your name.
Yes.
But yeah, he would knock on her door once he finally gets there.
Justin, I'm assuming, she would have a modest workspace in the basement or somewhere, kind of, not too showy.
Honest.
You would have the Marquis would probably have cleared out like an unused area outside of the main thing, somewhere within one of the towers on the walls, a place that's away from like the guards moving in and out, so it's pretty private.
Her office is just a throne room. That's all. Complete with all the lavish luxuries.
Hold on.
The swimming pool.
Hold on. There you go. I'm in the storage closet by the bathroom. All right. Yes. So, Justin, do I open my own door, or do I have an assistant?
You have
If you have mage
contacts.
hand,
Yeah, I mean you have contacts and stuff like that, but it's a small enough space to where it's like you kind of hear the knock and just get up, not really understanding who's there, and then.
No, I love it. Ajax would see the door open as a wispy blue hand disappears as the door swings open.
Ajax kind of goes and just, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that again. Gwen, it's been a while.
Ajax, how did you get past security?
Not well.
They can be troublesome at times.
Well, it's not so much them giving me a hard time. It's just getting decent directions.
Yes.
I don't know if they were just pointing me randomly or what, but I've been looking for about an hour now, and I just found you. So
Well, it's beneficial to my work to not be easy to find in such a large building.
that's fair.
Um,
Uh,
you see her open up a drawer and she starts counting out silver on the desk. So, how much is my bar tab? I'm sorry I haven't been by lately.
I would need to go and talk to more about that one.
She switches the silver to gold.
35 grand.
Yeah.
That wine, it's expensive.
Yes. Yes, I will.
No,
Yes, I will come by and talk to them. I will settle the matter.
uh, yeah. Do that. I'm I've yet to go back to the Gull. It's been a little while. I've been busy with other things. Speaking of said other things, first, Shoshana has asked me to give you this, and he goes and places the envelope on your desk. And second, she kind of delivered a bit of an ultimatum to me.
She's making you take a shower?
No, I get that one regularly. This is a new one. No, this has a bit more weight to it. So, despite it having been 8 years, she's finally holding me to my original request, and has demanded that the wedding take place. And she's demanded that it go and take place soon.
Ah, and you'd like me to perform? And she reaches behind her desk and pulls out a lute.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't embarrass myself or you.
Well, it's not so much that. We sent a pigeon a while back, but I don't know. First, not the other pigeon, not our pigeon.
Yeah, at the mention of the word pigeon, her eyebrow would certainly raise.
Yeah, that's why he's clarifying. He's like, not our pigeon. Surely he could have found you. The animal store. We sent one a while back, but hadn't heard anything. So she demanded that I come and inquire. And we would like you to come.
Oh, of course, you couldn't keep me away. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yes. So the wedding's fairly short order. You remember Zanir, yes?
No, of course.
Sorry.
Well, we've come into some. Did you hit a piano or something? Holy shit!
Sorry, I reached for my glass of water and it hit my mic arm. That's my bad.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I'll wait for the gong to finish ringing.
Yeah,
here.
that had great resonance.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's because this desk is hollow.
Hmm.
No, it's the desk itself is like that IKEA particle board stuff, but it's the supports that are metal and hollow.
You know the desks that teachers had in high school, those big metal desks?
Oh god, yes.
That's what it sounded like to me. That's what I was picturing.
That's what I thought it was too. I'm like, oh man, that's heavy. Where was I?
You were explaining about Zanir.
Yeah. So we've come into well, we're franchising, as you put it, and we're getting married down there. We've got rooms for everyone. But we'll need you there this Saturday, if you could find the time.
She looks a bit surprised. This Saturday? Ah.
Yes, like I said, I sent a pigeon, but well, it's not as reliable as ours.
No. And she kind of like looks at some papers and says, it doesn't matter what it is. Of course I'll be there." And then she would perhaps take your hands in her own and say, "Congratulations, Ajax. You deserve some happiness."
Thank you. The letter there. She made me swear not to go and open it. But well, I couldn't help. I can't read much of it, but I do know that some of the words in there, and I do recognize the term bride and maid. Yeah.
She looks alarmed and she stands up. She walks to the door and she calls into the hallway, and she says, Anthena, I need an appointment with Justinian Thunderclap to do something with his hair. No, not next week. Not Friday at the latest. Okay. Yes, I will. I have much to do.
Right. Well, the details are in the letter. Now let's see. I've got Madcap. I've got you, Arco. Arco, I'll have to go and get.
I saw Arco a few weeks ago at the temple. He was seemed to be relaxing. He was just asking Bahamut for some guidance for some decision. I'm not sure what he was on about.
Probably about what to have for lunch. All right. So he's still at the temple. Have you seen hide nor hair of the pigeon?
Quickly, Justin, if Cake made it canon that he's no longer in the city or whatever, I apologize, but I'm assuming he's around.
But yeah, he would be back by this point.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I have no idea what he would have been doing for 2 years.
There is something that will come up, but by the time that this is happening, he would be back by now.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd probably just mention the vague information I have that he'd been away, but I saw him at the temple recently. That he was back.
We can skip over that. We can just say, "Yep, Arco's coming."
Great.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was figuring.
The pigeon. Yes, our friend. His real name's no secret. Justinian Nask. If you go to the academy, you should find him there, very busy with his studies.
Yes, that's why I had been waiting. I figured when better to go and find him than later at night when you just have to go and look up and spot the silhouette.
Yes, he's known to at times sit on one of the towers at night. Some old habits die hard, it would seem. And Ajax, there is something we've been working on, but I won't discuss it here. I'll tell you when we get to Zinir.
By all means, if you have need of anything, just let me know. But again, Saturday. I can't read half of what she's got written. I don't know if it's her handwriting or just only the general understanding of written words, but I hope you can read it better than I can. And if you take a look at it, it's like fucking flawless, perfect writing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because Bard, well. So Ajax would excuse himself and would then go and he would stop to the Gull first, I think, planning to go and actually head to the college late at night when a pigeon is known to be lurking. Um, and he goes and fills in the staff there as to what's going on, what the plans are and whatnot, and they of course would be attending,
Hmm.
shutting the whole place down. Fuck it,
Oh yeah.
nobody cares. Everybody's gone. Um, and so he would finally pull himself away from there and make his way to the college. And as he's getting there, uh, would he spot the silhouette of a pigeon mask, or would he be sadly disappointed?
Where are you looking?
He's basically watching the roof lines, looking for a pigeon mask.
Depends on the day.
This would probably be about 2 years in, so
So maybe. Let's go with yeah. Actually,
Okay. So he spots the silhouette of the mask against the moon, and goes and says, "Ah, fucking knew it." And he would go and give a rather poor uh, pigeon call and listen for a response.
do you need me to like roll perception or something?
Probably
Do I
not,
clearly
no.
hear it?
It's late at night. I wouldn't be surprised to go and just.
nah, it's fine. Whatever. Just for narrative purposes, you call. There's a bit of an awkward pause, and then eventually, the pigeon man shows himself.
That call could only be one damn person I know.
A pigeon, yes, I know. It's rather amazing of me, isn't it? Didn't
Oh
know
yeah,
I could go and pull that off, did you?
I really didn't. I'm so surprised. I'm so proud of you.
I'm not. That was pretty bad. Oh,
I'm just trying to keep it light.
I trust you've been well. As he's saying this, he looks him over. Uh, well, I don't see any blood on you, so I'm gonna assume you're all in one piece.
Haven't killed anyone in a while.
Ah, well that's good. Uh, so I've got a bit of a question for you. Um, I know you have tendencies, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here and hope that you won't live up to said tendencies when I ask this, but well, Shoshana has rather pointedly insisted that we finally go through with getting married, and as a uh favor, um as I said, I think I'm going out on a slight bit of a limb here. Um, would uh, would you mind bearing the rings for us? Her niece is Well, she ran away, and she was originally going to do it, but she ran away, and for whatever reason, has declared that love is a lie and that it does not exist. So, we're decidedly short a ring bearer.
I mean, she's got the right like thought on her process, but not.
Thanks. Thanks. That's just what I wanted to hear. Um,
Look, if it's your thing, it's your thing, you know.
yeah, that's a fair point.
But I mean, just one thing, I'll do it. But mask on or mask off?
I'm gonna recommend mask off.
Up to you. I'll do it anyway.
Great. I only say that because, well, it's gonna be a wedding, and that thing kind of stinks. Just saying.
I know it smells of the end times, and I don't know how the fuck to get it out of it.
Get a new one? Just
There are some things that even magic can't fix.
prestidigitation does nothing on this. Yeah. I think it's time to get a new one, man.
Okay, but then I would have to get the enchantment work done on it again, transfer that shit over, and I already had to deal with that process once with Levingham, and that was annoying as shit.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So yeah, mask off if you don't mind. So the wedding is to be this Saturday. I trust you can make it to Zanir by then.
I mean, I could always hitch a ride with Gwen.
Yes, she's going to be there.
I was assuming she was. I feel like you would invite her before you'd invite.
Well, so far everybody is uh, so far everyone is gracious enough to show up to my judgment, I guess. I think. I don't know. I love the woman. Everything is great, but you know how you get that have you ever heard the ball and chain joke that everybody seems to go and make about marriage? I'm starting to
No,
understand where that's coming from.
no, but I understand what you mean, and that sounds about accurate.
Ah, right. Well, I understand where that saying came from at this point, and oh well, it should have happened years ago. Uh, and God only knows I'm not getting any younger, so I may as well settle down. So yes, this Saturday, hope to see you there, and yeah, we've got rooms for everyone. Come and see me when you get there at the inn in Zanir, and we'll get you the rings to hang on to. And please, for the love of God, don't pawn them.
Look, one, I don't pawn stolen things. We
What?
we fence them. Get the lingo, old man. But also, I only steal from those who need to be stolen from. You've done everything to earn what you have on your own. You've worked very hard.
only those who need to be.
Several
You know what?
questions.
You know what? We're gonna let that lie. I will see you Saturday.
Yeah, I will. And I mean, if you want to hear it, just ask, or I'll probably force it down your throat next time we're going on a government-sponsored murder mission.
All right, yeah. At least it's something to talk about. Yeah. Well, until Saturday. Try not to get arrested.
I'll try not to.
Oh, and Moore says he's got a new bottle of something for you. Didn't go into much detail. Said you'd know something about it. So drop by and pick that up whenever you get a moment.
At the one in Zanir or the Grizzled Gull?
The Gull.
Okay.
But yeah, he's got something. I'm fairly sure it's just pure flammable. So enjoy.
Huh. Not much of a violent type anymore, but it might produce.
Pretty sure it's alcohol, but he hasn't gone and started making bombs or anything like that, has he? Not again?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Good. I don't need to go and redo the kitchen again. Anyway, until Saturday. It was good to see you, my friend. Oh, and bring your sister or mother or whomever. All welcome.
Awesome. I mean, they probably can't get out of stuff as easily as I can.
To be fair, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, your family. Lord only knows what they can't get out of.
I mean, my mother and my sister are really stubborn when it comes to things that are already planned. So.
Okay. Yes. Took your meaning. Anyway, until Saturday. And with that, Ajax will shake his hand and begin making his way back to the Gull, and rather pointedly trying to go and not remember what he had gone and said in all of the questions that are now in his head, trying to sort them all out.
Gotcha. And with that, the big day comes. Everybody has made their way to Zanir with their best dressed clothes.
We didn't do mine.
Well, I know. Well, we're gonna wrap his up, and then.
Okay. I thought this was just like the group one.
No, go ahead and do his, and
Okay.
Because he can take care of his while he's in there.
Oh yeah. Sure.
And then
okay,
we can finish.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
So right after the events of Vigilantes, Pigeon would first send a letter out to his former gang, the Blind Pipers. It would contain the contents of this, the words that I wrote down in this document. Didn't teach me a damn thing. Acropolis was me, Pigeon. Try to top that one. I'll tell you, you won't. Your presence on the street is dwindling. I'd say contact me, but if you guys actually got good at this, you'd start taking my contracts. So your profit can fall and suffer. Sincerely, your favorite trash bird. In addition to that, the Pigeon Man would continue to steal, either based on information he heard in the Heights or from what he got from Hostile. Or Hostile, small fee, of course. Always charge people extra for doing what you don't want to do, he says. We all know the Scales himself as an awful thief. Pigeon didn't really keep doing this for the money, though. He's stolen enough. he was able to buy his own place and live off that for the next few years, so he decided to give out most of his earnings to those in the Bits and Shadebarrow, taking inspiration from the witch, but for a good cause. Leaving bags of gold and sometimes platinum on doorsteps tagged with a piece of parchment with an ink-drawn pigeon, his reputation has begun to repair. And then lastly, Justinian Nask continues his path down Bard College, picking up and refining his skill with a blade, studying the art of war, even picking hobbies up like fencing and being surprisingly good at it. Liking to keep his after-school activities light, he didn't really join outside bands from school or anything, as he'd rather become a different person for the night. We knew he'd never hang up the guise of the terror that flaps in the night.
I really
That's
want to
basically
play the
all I have.
Batman soundtrack right now.
Well done. So, if that is all the Pigeon Man has, then the big day comes.
Sorry.
Yeah. The big day comes. Everybody heads to Zanir with their best dressed clothes, looking as fine as they possibly can. The Nask family makes time to come with the youngest son to their friend's wedding, to their big day. Many of your allies throughout throughout your adventures are invited. Marquis Vanon follows through on his promise and comes as well, along with Barris Thornton and Levingham and Grella, and even Lucia manages to unglue herself from her desk with the number of paperwork that she has with her newer projects. And it is a wonderful ceremony. A nice sort of reminder of what it is that you all fought so hard for the safety of these little moments like this, and knowing that you were all better for it. So, with that, here's what the rest of the major players of this story have done. Firstly, for the additional thing for Arco, about a month after the events of Vigilantes, the city gets an important visitor from the mainland of Almaria. The leader of the Bahamut Paladin Order, Knight Commander Balasar, a tall, silver dragonborn, holy avenger strapped to his back, a legend, living legend from Almaria. It is said that he slew a Death Knight in service to Tiamat in single combat upon receiving his blade. He is one of the youngest by age comparison, so like, percentage-wise, of all Knight Commanders to be nominated as such. And he heads pretty much straight for the Bahamut Temple within Marduk. He states that he has received a vague vision of what has occurred here, but knows that one of his knights was involved. He has Arco explain in his own way the events that occurred. For his efforts, he is promoted to Knight Lieutenant, the second highest rank that one can achieve outside of becoming Knight Commander. This gives him a number of sort of title. This gives him a number of responsibilities as well as resources available to him. But the honor of gaining it is worth it enough for the simple Dragonborn. However, he does come with dire news for Arco Kara, the Lantern. He informs him that an incursion on Almaria has begun. An army of giants and other such strange, monstrous allies have invaded and destroyed the coastal city of Marseille. These giants of all different sorts, led by a very powerful storm giant known as the Storm King. He he crossed the sea with a floating fortress and 2 dragons under his thrall. And while the continent burns, there are heroes rising up to fight back against the Storm King. The paladins of Bahamut have been called into action to go to war. As such, Arco is called to the mainland of Almaria to do battle with a great foe who would seek the subjugation of the free people of Almaria. And we will leave that up to fate.
Dun,
But with the
dun,
presumption
dun.
that they are successful, Arco returns roughly a year later, battle-hardened and with plenty of crazy stories to tell. As for Lucia Caravella, she is nominated as the new commandant. While apprehensive at first, believing she does not deserve the position, she quickly settles into the role. Among her first acts, she institutes harsher punishments for corruption within the Guard and establishes an Office of Internal Affairs to investigate such corruption independently, free from division bias. And her former station at the Blue Sashes is now headed by her lieutenant, now Captain Alcott Vosk. Hostal completely wastes his pardon, going right back to business as usual. That being said, he does occasionally give a freebie to the Guard and the new Internal Affairs Office, despite their frequent attempts to arrest him. Eventually, they give up trying to catch the sneaky snake and just let him be. After all, he's not really hurting anybody. Within a few weeks, every few weeks from then on, Lucia finds a letter on her desk that just reads, "Heh, I win," and signed with a crude drawing of a snake. Levingham returns to his position as keeper of Brelandir, after it has been rigorously cleansed in both the religious and physical sense. And he sets up shop again, almost as if nothing had ever happened. Many people are confused as to the sudden return of the old keeper, believing that he had died many years ago. Others just respond, "Fucking wizards." He takes on Grella to be his alchemical apprentice, and together they continue working on his secret project. Some say if you listen on a quiet night in Northside, you can still hear them bicker. Barris Thornton retains his council seat, though he does briefly consider resigning, but stays on to make something of his last term. He becomes instrumental in allocating resources to Lucia's anti-corruption efforts. He leaves a lasting legacy as a man who, in the end, did the right thing when it counted. Nadine Ravencrown is found as another conspirator in the benefactor's plot. It turns out she had been funneling money into Tarkov's hand so that he could redirect mining company workers to excavate the ruins around the Tarask prison. Upon investigation, it also appears that many within the hierarchy of the mining company were once under Tarkov's psionic thrall. News of this causes her family to disown her, and she is sentenced into exile. After Don Leonard Fat Tusk's emissions are considered, he is instead sentenced to death by hanging, rather than exile as was originally planned. Former Commandant Warbrew was examined by an experienced mage from the Academy, and they found remnants of enchantment magic within his mind, backing up his claims of not feeling himself over the last few years at the hands of Tarkov's influence. In light of this, he is offered a stay of execution, but refuses. He states, on the official record, "Magic or no, it does not change the fact that my actions were that of a traitor, and so a traitor's death is what I deserve." He and Fat Tusk are hung on the same day. Lynette Madsen and the Hadlam Harkers find themselves in a strange position. With the Grey Slicers wiped out, the exterior sectors are ripe for the taking. In an unexpected move, however, the Harkers put themselves to work rebuilding and, air quotes, sprucing up the Bits and the Shadeborough. When the Guard returned to full strength after dealing with their bad apples and getting everything sorted out on their end, they found the Harkers had grown and assumed a sort of neighborhood watch kind of role. Even more surprisingly, hostilities never erupted, and Madsen proposed a partnership. The Harkers would cease their under-the-table operations, but would not disband. Instead, they would, quote, take care of the small stuff for the Guard. "I've been angry for a very long time, and I did not deal with that anger in a healthy manner. However, now that the cause for that anger is dead and buried, I can think more clearly and calmly. There is so much to be fixed in Marduk, and changes from the top only go so far down. That's where we come in. The Guard can focus on the city, and we'll focus on the people," she says in a public assembly after the negotiations. She's a very different person, and in the years to come, once the Harkers are more established as a more legitimate and non-criminal element within the city, she is she proposes, well, she officially turns herself in as part of the agreement and spends a number of years serving for the crimes that she did commit, though significantly reduced given her efforts over the previous time. As for the beast under the island, it remains still like a living statue. Study of its chambers by the Academy specialists reveal it to be Zyrenian in origin, one of the oldest ruins known to exist. For those, which is pretty much everybody except Jake, the Zyrenians are a old civilization, far older than any known civilization. How far back is completely unknown. What we do know of their culture and history is, to them, magic and science were indistinguishable, and many of the things that they left behind defy explanation. The biggest clue, initially, as to the age of this ruin is the fact that much of it is made of stone, carved out of the earth itself, rather than metal, as most ruins have been found. Given what is known about Marduk's past, a rough timeline can now be built. After the fall of Zyrene, the Naga cults established themselves throughout the islands and beyond. When the Yuan-Ti began to spread, led by their progenitor Seth, and he began his campaign against these false serpent gods, wiping out all of the cults. The ones on Marduk, though, and the surrounding islands around, came together to repel the Yuan-Ti invaders, and after a brief era of peace, Yuan-Ti returned and finished the job. As they established themselves, eventually they would dig far too deep and come across the Tarask and leave in fear of what they had found. The Academy works very hard to keep the knowledge of what they have found and learned to stay within the city. The last thing they want is a draconian magister and their research team poking around and taking over their operation. They are unsure if they can keep this up for very long, though. Though it will be challenging and fraught with obstacles, the future of Marduk looks bright. With major changes made within the city's leadership and many more having their eyes opened to uncomfortable truths, the gangs of opportunistic thieves, swindlers, and monsters have scattered or been destroyed. The hearts and minds captivated by those who rose up, inspired by this city's long-lost hero, defeated the villains who sought its, nay, the world's destruction. No one could ask for a better legacy. For once, There was one, and now there are 5. Thank you so much for playing in my game, guys.
Well done, man.
Thank you.
I would clap, but I have push to talk on.
I'm a,
I slapped
Sound
it.
of one hand clapping.
I just sent you something. If you want to play that, the thing.
I'm a little emotional.
Yeah, I told you it was a.
Well, this is a song that I hear every now and then, and I heard it today, and it made me think of the fact that the campaign is ending.
Hold on. Oh,
Skip.
and then skip. This is pretty cool. This has like kind of like credits music kind of vibes at the start.
Leg. Like, I do have one more vigilante meme.
Oh boy, the final meme.
Okay. Like, you ready?
I'm fucking ready.
That's great.
I love it.
That's after you become, full-fledged bard and you're a world-famous musician.
We wish.
Well, what'd you guys think of the last little bits for all your friends?
I like it.
Good for Arco, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Everybody got these nice, like, somebody got like a really good job, other people are beginning their education, somebody came out of retirement, somebody got married. Arco's going to war.
I know. I just thought of something too. When Ajax said, I'm creating a franchise,
Yep.
I would go back and say, we are too. I'll tell you about it on Zanir, right? Because it was like Pigeon, and and again, like if I'm misrepresenting, let me know. But the goal for me is to create like Vigilantes Mark II and like franchise it out.
Young Justice.
Yeah, the next generation.
All I can think of is fucking Iron Man with all of his fucking suits.
Yeah.
Mm.
The prodigal son returns.
Nah, man, it's. Give me a sec. I used this the other day, so I just need to scroll.
I had a really hard time kind of figuring out what to do about Madsen, but then I kind of thought and like, man, she's been like fucking pissed off for like the last 7 or 8 years. That's gotta wear somebody down.
Oh yeah.
Shit, just being pissed off for days is enough to go and wear somebody down.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
not good for you.
Yeah, getting that catharsis out with killing Tyrnos and all that stuff. She did a lot of self-reflection and
Yeah,
was like,
I mean, shit, you go and kill your mortal enemy, and then it's just like, all right, now what?
yeah, it's
I
you're still
don't
hollow.
fucking know what to do anymore. Yeah.
hmm And so, like, the Harkers, while being, criminals, were definitely the more mild manner of the bunch.
So-
there was a more sort of neighborhood camaraderie within their culture and within the bits. So she kind of just took that and was like, let's, the guard are fucked right now for the next couple of years, and the Shadeborough is extra fucked, especially after the hell they've had to endure the last few years. So we got to do something about this. And she owns up to everything that she did eventually. She just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to fall apart without her.
Out of curiosity, the Harkers, were
Mhm.
those based off of the Forgotten Realms, or not the Forgotten Realms, the fucking
Oh, the Waterdeep?
yeah, like were they based off of the Harkers, like from the
No, I
actual
just
game?
the only thing is The only thing is, when I was coming with their name, was I wanted to use Hadlam in it because that's the name of the road that goes through the bits. It's Hadlam
Okay.
Trail. So I wanted to do that because that's like the main thoroughfare of the bits.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, I want it to, I want some alliteration. And I guess, I don't know, Lords of Waterdeep was in the back of my mind because I'd gotten that for Christmas last year. And
Okay.
I chose Harkers. I don't know anything about Waterdeep.
They're the Harpers.
Oh, the Harpers. Oh, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It was the Harpers, and then I was like, all right, but I don't want to rip off Waterdeep. Harkers. They would, they would act as sort of like messengers between people. So it's like you see a Harker, you can always figure out what's going on. Just
Right.
don't cross them. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I always saw the Harpers with a P.
Mhm.
I always saw them as like the fucking CIA, basically.
Yeah.
Like they're always out like just gathering information and shit like that.
Yeah, no, the Harkers were always more of like what a mafia looks like on the outside looking in. Like always having
Okay.
like the neighborhood at their back, always thinking about the community, that sort of thing.
Right.
But at the end of the day, still a criminal organization, just not the worst one in the city.
Right. Yeah.
That's why Madcap's
Alright.
like, look, I got a list. You're at the bottom of it, but you're there.
Yeah.
You're on it. You're just
If
not
you
very
wanted to
high.
go and like fight her before like before hanging up as the Madcap, like I would have been like, all right, so I got this thing for her. But if you want to have like a full on like you beat each other half to death and then she just kind of airs it all out for you, we could have done that. But that's kind of what I had planned for her.
He hung up the axe, picked up the sword, and went for the Pipers.
Mhm.
Yeah. To be fair, the Pipers aren't really much of a combat challenge. They're just slippery.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, especially that it's now that he's not killing anyone anymore. He's like,
Yeah, and
he's
the
not-
Pipers do not kill. And murder is the mark of an amateur. So that's like one of their tenets. You kill somebody, whether you have your Piper mask on or not, you're not a Piper anymore. So they at least have that going for them. But yeah.
But now it's 10:46. Now what?
I know, right? It's like it's like the end of the South Park World of Warcraft episode. What do we do now? What do you mean? Now
What do
we
we
can
do
finally
now?
play the
Yeah.
Now
game.
we can finally play the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Imagine if that was all just session 0, and now session 1, Vigilantes.
Yeah.
A 38-week session 1.
Speaking of session 0,
Yeah, I gotta go heat up some leftover Wild Wings and grab a soda, and I'll be right back.
Oh.
Yeah, that
Boy.
sounds good too.
Oh god, that does sound good.
I need a drink and a piss. So
Yeah, I'm not sharing my chicken with any of you people.
I'm gonna have to load into.
Sharing is
Oh, I don't
caring,
think I
Ellis.
have Roll20 link for that anymore.
I don't know if I even have. Oh,
We're not gonna use it. That's fine, but
I mean, we
Looks like
can
I
we
have
can
that.
use the same Resurgence one. That's fine.
Okay. That should be in game info, I think, right? Yeah, there we go.
Oh, Cobra, that ring that Thorn has.
Yes.
Is that like just a plain band, or what does it kind of look like?
So it's a gold band, and it has like inlaid white diamonds in the shape of petals.
Okay. All right, because yeah, like I was sitting there kind of going and thinking about it, and I'm like, all right, so how would he react to going and having something like that? Like, would he, especially something that rare? Like, would he sit there and kind of play with it all the time, like spinning it around? But if it's like just a regular plain band, I don't know that he
No.
would.
So I had a thought about why you had the ring, and I'll send. Well, just hop in the DM chat real quick.
Yeah. There it is.
Okay, I will be right back.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Feels so weird being done by now.
That is valid.
Yeah, it's a little weird, because it's like we haven't finished a campaign since, like, the whole story since Resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jake, since you played in my games before, in the Bowman fight, did you put together that it might have been a Zyrenian ruin by that point?
Not really.
Okay. See, because I did leave a hint in the design of the gargoyles and the armors.
I
If
knew
you
it.
if you remember something about their anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah, they're somewhat insectoid, and they have 4 arms.
I didn't. I was all over that, man. I was frothing at the mouth that nobody else thought of it.
Yeah. So that is another little perma change. Is now the oldest known Zyrenian ruin exists beneath the island of Marduk, and within it, trapped in a chronomancy prison, is the apocalypse creature.
Well, I don't know about that, but you know.
Well,
I'm back.
hey, I don't think Ellis is back yet.
Oh god, I just remembered how dumb this guy is gonna be. Oh.
Oh, God.
Yeah, form stats weren't that great, just like yours. Just
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
I've
Does he
got a
have anything
7.
negative? You got a 7 for int? Let's go.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
almost had an 8.
Yeah, I've got a 7 for intelligence. He's extremely wise. He just doesn't know what the fuck to do with it.
Just, that's rough, buddy.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I got for my stats, I got 3 plus zeros. So that's great.
Yeah, I've only got the one real bad one there, but the rest of them are all at least a +1.
That's
Although
why
I'm kind of
a lot of the
kind of
spells I
kicking
took don't
myself.
have, or well, some of them, a lot of them have. I gotta rearrange these because now that my stats are different, I gotta do different spells. Because fucking DC 13 is not great.
All right, that's kind of confusing. Why the fuck would that have a -2?
Dude, I can't believe Hero Forge doesn't have just like a long sleeve shirt with a vest.
Yeah. I know one of the things that they're planning on adding in a future update is layered clothing. So some of the like weird mismatched things will you'll be able to like put them over each other.
That would be nice.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would be very cautious with something like that because I don't know how well it's gonna go and interplay at this point. Um, I think they would need like multiple layers, so you'd have to go and have like one slightly larger than the other and slightly larger than that because some of the armor types and whatnot have weird angles to them, so I don't know how well that's gonna work out.
Well, a simple solution, you could kind of like how with the neck pieces,
Mm-hmm.
just label certain pieces as unlayerable. So
Well, that could be.
yeah, so like if you look at some of the jackets, they have like
Mm-hmm.
there's like the one
With the
pirate jacket.
collars.
Yeah, and there's like one jacket that like when you put it on, your character doesn't wear a shirt underneath it. That one
Mm-hmm.
could be layerable with some of the like basic shirts, but
Right, with the
as soon as you
t-shirts
put
and
on
stuff.
like the bard coat, you can't layer anything.
Right.
So
It'll be interesting to see how they go and do that.
yeah.
I'm honestly kind of surprised that they don't have like a swaddled baby or something like that for female characters.
Or just as an item that you can hold.
Yeah, go and have like a little baby that you can go and have in your arm, like the nook of your arm.
I can just see
That'd be
now
cool.
that like you have like the character's like holding the baby in one hand and like a fireball in the other, like about to bash into the baby's face.
Right?
It'd give people the opportunity to remake one of my favorite scenes with Not the Brave, the Manticore baby.
Oh god.
That is like one of my favorite fucking
Not the
like
brave?
yeah, it's Sam Riegel's character in campaign 2
Oh,
for
oh, oh,
yeah, Not the Brave, which is there's no comma. It's not the Brave, it's Not the Brave. um
oh. See, you said that and I'm just like, what movie is this? I need to see this.
yeah. No, there's early on in their campaign. This is actually when Kari Payton guested. If you've seen fucking The Walking Dead. He was on. He
Oh.
played Shakasta, a Tempest cleric who is blind and sees through his hummingbird familiar.
I totally stole one of my fucking character ideas.
Just means you're on the same wavelength. But so they partnered up with him because the town they had went to was attacked by gnolls, and they tracked the back to the Knoll Caverns, which was like an abandoned mine or whatever, and they found that there was like a manticore that they were either like worshiping or had partnered with or something,
I
and
think
it
I
had a
remember
baby.
hearing about that one.
Yeah, it had a baby, and eventually, Not like broke away from the group, went over to where the baby was in the nest, and shouted up to the manticore, and like, it's like, stand down, or I'm gonna fucking kill your baby, and because Not's a goblin, so she's very impulsive,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so, and it didn't back down, and so he's like, all right, I dropped the knife into it, and Matt's like, okay, almost as if in slow motion, you drop your knife into the poor defenseless baby manticore, and as its mewing eventually stops, the mother, flying in the air, screams out, "No!" and literally charges Not. And Matt's like, and she's gonna get advantage on all of her attacks because you killed her fucking baby. How dare you?
Right? Jesus.
Yeah. But honestly doing that in that fight really saved the party's bacon, because that manticore was, I forget who it was attacking. It was fucking them up. It might have
Well,
been
yeah, I
Ford.
mean-
It might have been Ford or Bo, because Yasha wasn't with them at the time. And they were.
Honestly, the best critical role surprise stab was definitely the Christmas.
Oh yeah. Oh god, I love the Christmas episode. That one's so good.
I could just watch that scene over and over.
I need to. Apparently, there's another like really cool oh shit moment from Ashley's one shot, which I need to watch.
I haven't seen that yet.
That one's pretty cool. That one's like
space.
Yeah, it's. I think they're. I forget what system they're playing. They're playing something else, and I think it's like it's very inspired by Aliens, or by Alien. So like they're on a ship, kind of like the Nostromo. Everybody's like a specialist in something. Somebody might be an android, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
I'm back if anyone's.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
Jake, you here?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure you didn't leave again.
So I don't know if you want to rename the all the chats above in I guess the new pilgrimage chat.
Yeah, actually here. Where are you? Right there. There you go. You should be able to go and make edits now.
Oh, nice.
To whatever.
Do you guys want your own chat for each of your characters, or?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we can just rename the ones that are there.
Yeah, no need to go and respawn new ones and whatnot. Time for another Cobra campaign with another short ass fucking character. Yes.
Did Oh yeah, because we had Varn for a little bit. So yeah, every campaign so far has had a short character.
Mm-hmm. That will never change. I will definitely be a short character at some point.
Cobra was the short
you
character.
You spelled it.
Yeah.
Fuck. You spelled the Z wrong.
Well, fine.
There you go.
Cake has yet to answer me if he's actually keeping that name, but
Hugh, man. It's fine. We can change it later.
I believe it should have 2 N's at the end. I've known a lot of mans, and I think they all have 2 N's, which is kind of weird.
yeah. What do we got? We got a tiefling, a dragonborn, a goblin, a human, and something else.
Quote human.
Well, no, Alice is a human.
Oh, Ellis is a human, and
And
then whatever the fuck Cake is doing.
That's why I said and something else.
I can't believe you're letting him play the fucking hat.
He's not playing a hat.
It's
Is
a
he
necklace.
It's a necklace.
No,
Is he playing?
he has a physical body himself, and he and I worked out something very well. So I think it works out well.
Cool.
It's a scarf this time. Yay!
He's playing a changeling.
You guys will probably see at some point.
All right, that's cool.
But yeah, so pilgrimage. Anything you guys wanna? Anything we've all had our talks. Anything else you guys wanna ask?
Yeah. Did you put your my +1 armor in my inventory?
I did not because I didn't know what you wanted. So
Okay.
I saw the seeker dart. Did you add that?
I did because I was looking through magic items and I'm like, that looks fun. So I gave you a couple of them.
Like, I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, the Seeker Dart? I don't even know what the fuck that is. Where did that come from? I don't remember that. So, awesome. Cool. Da, 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 da.
So as far as equipment, you guys can have any weapons and armor aside from plate mail and half plate, I think. And you can have anything off of the equipment list, except for like healing potions, acid, alchemist fire, and holy water.
Okay, so none of
Oh.
like the offensive or healing things.
Right, and no spyglass.
No, yeah, the spyglass is too expensive.
Aside from that, so any equipment, and like if you want, you can have like maximum of one healing kit per person, I guess. And you can have any or supply, or like, what are they called?
Any regular supplies.
Yeah, artisan supplies. Any artisan stuff that you are proficient with, you have.
Yeah, I'm not. So I
Um,
don't get anything.
Same with instruments or gaming sets or whatever. You have all that.
I got no tool proficiencies. I do one thing. I have one job on this ship.
You do want to be careful with that. I had one job on my Star Wars campaign, and the rest of my party were all sneaky fuckers. It was not fun. But when we did get in trouble, I just mowed the fucking playing field down. It was fucking great.
Real quick, Cobra. From the last campaign that I was in, I had a gold amount from that one. Should I set that to something else? Because I have a 224 right now.
I guess you all probably have like 25 gold to your name,
Okay, so
but you'll be getting more.
okay. I just wanted to make sure it's fair, and I'm putting myself down to where I'm at.
Actually, no, I should put it to 10 because that's this like it's like you have like your starting equipment, and 10 gold is pretty standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Let me look and see if there's any other things I
Other
want
stuff,
to
yeah.
add.
Breastplate +1. That goes.
Yeah, it's fine. And Ellis, you have your either spellcasting focus or your alchemy or component pouch. You got same goes for anyone that can cast as component pouches, holy symbols, whatever.
Ooh, actually, I got something. I'm gonna DM you real quick.
Sure.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's see.
Would you guys like a sneak peek at Baron Antal?
Sure. I mean, we all would have met him at least once by now. Ooh. Dude, he just looks
Oh
like
no, he's hot.
he just looks like Alucard when he's not in his like normal vampire getup.
Oh, Fabio.
Yeah.
Before he
Like-
got his face smashed in with a pigeon.
Yeah.
I knew Pigeon was behind all
He
that.
killed that goose.
He did.
I like
Yeah.
the effects on the sword and the crown and stuff. That looks really good.
Yeah, he a sword boy and he a caster boy. He does it all.
Ooh. He a stabby boy?
When you're as old as he is, you can be all the boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got prestige levels.
Leg.
Master.
So you guys want to take guesses on how old he is?
2K.
He's got to be at least 2,000, maybe 3,000.
I'm gonna do a hot take. 800.
God damn it, I was gonna say 800. 1,300 maybe?
Well, he'll hint at it at some point.
I really want to go and add the dripping blood effects on his mouth. Oh, that reminds me, I need to grab Thorn.
Let's see, what else could I add on here? What? Fuck it, let's do that. There we go.
That's a nice looking mini.
Nice.
So yeah, any questions on the world, how it's changed from what you guys know?
What's Brightwater like now? I mean,
So I'd say-
obviously, like
I have
God
that
descended, and they have like his footprints nearby.
So this is something that Duncan especially is aware of. He knows the deal with Brightwater. So you mentioned the gods. So Mercana descended at the northeast, outside the northeast edge corner of the ring of mountains, leaving two massive footprints. Those have become a set of twin cities called the Footprints, and it's
Okay.
kind of like the holy mecca of Mercanan. Brightwater. So as you know, they are known for their potions. So the way that they made the potions was they just learned how to refine the magical snow that was falling on the mountain. That's
Right, and
also
that's
how
why
they.
everything was the same color too.
That's how they made the ink for their magical tattoos.
Okay.
That snow no longer falls. They can't make potions. So a combination of them not being able to make their potions, their livelihood, and the fact that the rest of the world has been reconnected to the magical planes, they no longer have the massive influence that they used to.
They're not the superpower anymore.
No. So they used to be untouchable. They could do anything they wanted. Now they have to play by the rules just like anyone else. They are still a very wealthy and well-off city because they had such a head start that they still have the most prestigious magical universities that exist.
Yeah, they got a head start as opposed to everybody else.
Right. Who took a few hundred years to probably figure out magic. So they are still very well off, but outsiders can now enter the city.
Yeah.
It's a kind of like a passport system almost. You still need like a reason to go there, but
They're a lot less. They're a lot more lax on it.
right. Low water outpost has gotten much bigger. There's now for people that want, entrance. Now that you can enter, there's lodging and taverns and shops and stuff like that, and low water for the people that want access to the city.
Okay. Did our previous character? I mean, we probably wouldn't know as our own characters, but would our previous characters have descended as well, or did they not do that?
You mean ascended?
Or I mean, I know they went up, but Mercanan also came down. So did they
Well,
come down with him?
Oh,
Mercanan came down and picked you up.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I thought, okay, that's right. So he came down, picked you up, and then left. Right.
He's landed outside the mountains, stepped over them, walked to the tower where you are, and picked it up like a toothpick.
Right. Okay. So I was thinking more of a Pillars of Eternity 2, and then like he descended down and then was like walking everywhere for a bit.
No, it was very short lived.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, yeah. And as for your characters, I would say, I mean, it's possible for you to find hints.
Okay.
And I'll say one of your characters might know, but I'm not going to tell you that they know.
That's fine. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Unfortunately, like for me, I kind of joined a bit late, so a lot of the early stuff I don't,
I think you only missed one session, I think.
No,
I thought you
no.
guys played like
I missed
two or
like
three.
3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he came in when you guys were already in the city. So he missed the fight against the elemental in the dwarven mining camp. He missed the road trip, the interview,
That's true.
meeting up with Barry Blue Jeans on the road.
Eugene
Wait.
flirting with everyone.
Yeah,
Wait, Barry Blue Jeans was in this too?
there's always a Barry Blue Jeans.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
that's the rule. There has to be a Barry Blue Jeans.
So that's your connective tissue. Gotcha.
It connects everything on a cosmic scale.
Barry Blue Jeans is like the Watcher.
Yeah, he was so their group started as like a well-known hero group, adventuring group. Barry Blue Jeans headed the Raptors, which was a rival group, but he was a little bit of a douchebag, so he tried to jump him on the road to steal the job from him. But he got deaded.
they fucking killed him.
Yeah. Oh, you missed this. You missed the Scorched Road.
Oh yeah, that's leading up to Brightwater, right?
Yeah. Did I ever tell you what that was?
No, what was that?
So the party leaves from Doran and they end up at Burns Edge, which is traveling through a little bit of like a wooded area. And Burns Edge is a small town covered in ash. Because that entire bit from Burns Edge to Lowwater Outpost on either side of the road had been scorched by the city of Brightwater. That was a hot spot for people that were stealing their magical potions and jumping their caravans. So to make it so like there was nowhere for them to hide because it was a pretty thick wood, they burned it for like 3 miles in either direction.
They just kept casting fireball.
Yeah, pretty much. Because they don't give a fuck about the environment. They don't care about the environment. They didn't care about anyone else, what anyone else thought about it. They're Brightwater. Their shit's getting jacked. They're not going to put up with that. So they just
Anarcho-capitalism at its finest.
Yeah, so they scorch. So that's why it's called the Split Forest, because there's part of the forest above and below, and they scorch the middle bit of it.
It's kind of like the Scar of Thordak on Taldore.
Yeah.
If you look at the map. So you literally just burned this entire mountain pass. That's pretty fucking metal. Is it still like that now?
It's starting to regrow.
Okay.
Well, no, I'd say no. At this point, I mean, it's like 4,000 years later. It's back to like, it's definitely like, it's wider. It's much wider than it used to be. And it's actually just very odd. It's like the trees are different than the rest of the forest.
Okay, so there's like a very clear difference. Like, okay, these trees are here, and these ones are very different.
Yeah, what grew after?
Yeah.
They grew up from underneath the ashes.
So they might be like more vibrant because that's a lot of fertilizer.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so they stopped there. So the road is still very wide, but the forest has encroached. There's like it's probably like a boulevard. You know, it's
Yeah. The
like
path is maintained, so it's not overgrown, kind of
yeah.
thing. Gotcha.
And because there's no real need because there's not really there's no super valuable potions that come out of there. So
So what do they do? Well, I mean, we probably wouldn't know, but what do they do now? What are they known for? Is it literally just like the academy and like making scrolls and shit?
pretty much the academy is their big thing.
Get a lot of tuition payments.
Yeah. Hey, there's some tourism. It's still a very religious city.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the very large church, and they have that gorgeous monument in the wall in the mountain.
Yeah, that monument that definitely wasn't involved in anything bad at all.
And who knows? Maybe they actually made the monument.
Yeah, but they've had 3 to 4,000 years. They finished the monument. Especially after he decides to take a stroll up through the mountains. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he literally walked over, like he took one step over the entire mountain
Yeah.
range.
Avoiding your shoes in the middle of your hallway.
Or it's like when you have like the dog gates up and you don't want to take it down every place, you just step over the dog gate.
Yep.
Oh god, that's always very difficult for me because sometimes the dog gates are just a little too high because I'm very short.
Oh god. Yeah, I can do it, but it's like right there. It's about a half an inch too short, or,
Mhm.
shorter than where it needs to be. So I'm like, oh, stepping on tiptoes and whatnot, just trying to make it over. Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable at times.
One more thing. So the reason why the elves were so antagonistic towards anyone coming in was so when the in Rinkir is their world is like their life tree,
Mhm.
which was fed by the Feywild. Because there's like a portal feed, like literally a portal feeding the Feywild, the tree from the Feywild.
Mhm.
When the barrier went up, it was cut off. So the tree stopped propagating. That's why they made those jade stones that they did to help propagate the forest while they still had a little bit of magic left.
Ah,
Okay.
so that was the stone then.
That was the stone um and then so that's why they're so antagonistic because they're so protective of what little they had left. They didn't want anyone coming to their
Right.
forest. That's why elves only lived to be like 350, 400 years old, is because they were cut off from the Feywild. So the reason that stone was becoming more active again is because the weakening that the Sahwagan were doing with their rituals were weakening the barrier. It was letting the Feywild cross into it. That's what caused the stone to be active in the Illit forest that you guys found and what created the Earth Elemental.
Nice.
And wasn't another reason too is like the people of Brightwater were cutting down like trees near the edge of their forest, right?
Yeah, that was a little on the down low.
Mm.
Like they definitely kept the down low, but they definitely didn't give a fuck and they would do whatever they want. I mean,
Okay.
the Hornets would try to fight them, but to fight someone who would just fireball your ass, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so since then, now that the barrier is gone and it's reconnected to the Feywild again, the tree is thriving again. They're no longer so protective and insular. They do have their standard lifespan of 700 years or whatever.
Nice.
Nice. Yay, look at all the good that we did, guys.
Yeah. There are now how I told you there was no demons or angels or fiends or anything like that, because there was no access from the plane.
Mm-hmm.
The demon blood blood knights have been introduced into the population. Now there's tieflings,
Okay.
and now there is possible crossover of fiends and stuff like that.
Fun.
Same goes for celestial beings. Now there's Asimar.
Mm-hmm. Silona's probably no longer a like 1 in a billion fluke.
Right. So now there's all this sort of thing. So the reason there was no dragons was because they were all hibernating and they were sleeping. And
Trying to conserve what little like magic essence they had or something.
Being reconnected to their outer planes, they've awoken. And their slumber, they're all their dragon eggs, in their weakened form, gave birth. They hatched into Dragonborn.
Okay.
So that's why now there's Dragonborn everywhere.
Hell yeah.
I mean, just not like every they're not super common, but they're of all colors. There you can find them anywhere.
Yeah. And it's been long enough too that they, as a species, have self-propagated and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. And there are still continuing to be more of them and stuff like that. I would say there's one place that there are specific Dragonborn, but you guys don't get to know about that. Ganassi can now make their ways from the elemental planes.
Nice. I really want to try Ganassi at some point.
I got a barbarian water Ganassi I want to play.
Yeah, you told me about him. I don't know. I kind of want to do like I don't know, some kind
Got
of
a
like
wildfire druid.
Yeah, or like some kind of tanky Earth Ganassi kind of dude, like an Earth Ganassi transmuter. He's basically just Edward from Full Metal Alchemist.
There you go.
That'd be
I
pretty cool.
really want to see them going up their fucking Earth Elemental game. I am so disappointed in the amount of like
Earth manipulation
Earth
magic that
and whatnot.
is not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like there was one from like 4E or 3.5 is like earthen pillars, and you can like literally just like shoot pillars up out of the ground or whatever.
Pillars of
And
Earth or
yeah,
Bones
Pillars
of
of
the
Earth.
Earth.
Something like that. You can like literally just like do it underneath people, and a willing
Yeah.
creature could use it as elevation, or an unwilling creature could get flung up into the air.
Druids get that. Like druids will get a couple of them, but like all of the Earth type spells, they're broken up between wizards and druids, and there's no real overlap for them. Like for
Yeah.
instance, Call Lightning is druid only.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can get it as one of the paladins, but what the hell?
Cakes. Yeah, it's Cakes
Yeah,
Earth.
but why wouldn't a fucking wizard be able to go and do that? It makes
Yeah.
absolutely no sense why it's specifically druid only.
That's why I made my. It's part of the reason why I made my expanded sorcerer list, so Storm Sorcerer gets that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What other questions?
Let's see. The orcs were pushed back into the desert.
Okay.
What
about our Yuan-Ti friends?
Yuan-Ti? Yeah, I told you that the Yuan-Ti were originally from the continent to the north. So the orc. They
They now have an alliance.
if you know where to look, you can find them in the capital of Valandral and the cities around there. There might be some Yuan-Ti there, but they're mostly up to the north. That's where Tabaxi are from. That's where Turtles are from.
Okay. That's where a lot of the more like bestial races might be.
Yeah.
One of these days, I have got to go and play fucking Puss in Boots. Swords Bard.
A Leyan in Swords Bard.
Right?
One thing that Thorn knows is that the Goliath hordes, the Goliath tribes and the herds, they used to be up in the mountains, and that's why they were they're hardly common at all in the lowlands. With the elemental magic returning, giants have taken over the mountains again, and they're driving the Goliaths down the mountains, which are driving the goblins down the mountains. So that's why there's more commonly it's the goblins still aren't common, but they're more common now in the lowlands. Same with the Goliaths.
Are goblins kind of split between like monster manual goblins and like goblin races, or like as like civilized goblins, or are they all pretty much just like
You can find both. Groups
Okay.
of goblins are more likely to be nomadic like tribes,
Mhm.
or like not nomadic necessarily, but like communal tribes. You can find pockets of them in cities. Otherwise, there'll be a here and there goblin, which met with
Mhm.
standard prejudice.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
Sometimes deserve.
goblin.
Sometimes they're just like, I just want a grill.
So yeah, goblins on their own, like solo, you can go and actually sit down and have a conversation with a goblin, and it will not it won't attack you, it won't try to harm you, it will actually try to bargain with you and will try to be nice. But once they have superior numbers, that's when they go and start becoming problems, because they now know that they have the advantage in numbers and will, take what they want because there's
Mhm.
more of us than you. So give me what you have, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's like common for most of the for goblins in and of itself across all platforms,
Hmm.
for instance.
Okay.
But yeah, like a solo goblin, he will sit there and be like, yeah, you're the boss. What do you want? What can I give you? How can I bribe you? How can I make you my friend? Um, he will try to stab you in the back and steal your shit, but um, if you catch him, he will give it back.
Interesting. Huh. I've been talking a lot.
So I've already got most of my information that I needed. So
I mean, honestly, for Kadok, I just kind of need to know the stuff relevant to his origin and well.
I mean, like, well, I also just don't want you guys to have a bunch of preconceived notions about the world for what you do 4,000 years ago.
Yeah. A lot of things we can
Like I told you before, that like religion was, half the people didn't even believe in the gods,
Yeah.
back then. Now, worship of Mercanan has grown immensely, obviously, because he just walked on the material plane.
So
But all the other gods' worship has increased greatly.
somewhere in the afterlife, Silona smiles.
Um, there would still be stories that no one goes inside the mountains, the Mercanan mountains.
Probably
There,
for the best.
it is still heavily tainted with evil. No one's been able, so it's kind of a gathering place for or groups of orcs, bugbears, hobgoblins, goblins, anything like that would be drawn to some of the evil or make use of that.
Hmm. Interesting.
And each of you would know. I think only Kadok would know openly of that there's war going on. I think everyone else has been there longer. But I forget, Ellis. I forget how long you've been there at the Bastion. Because
Ellis.
it's not in your character sheet.
How do you pronounce it? Bastion d'Antil?
Deantel.
D'Antel. Okay. I've been like furiously writing the last 10 minutes.
well, it's the Lorehound. Now, is this actual writing, or is this like note taking?
No, Cobra reminded me to throw backstory in my character sheet, so I've got a text file with just like scattered notes, and I'm just like, let me
That makes me sad. Like when you go like after your sessions, like all I can imagine is you just have like a ream of just paper all over the fucking room with notes on it all over the place.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
um,
look.
Pepe Sylvia.
Right?
Yeah, my vigilante notes. It's 30K for a text file. I don't know how many
Jesus.
lines it is or whatever.
Is that more words than my actual notes document?
No, it couldn't possibly be.
No, my notes document, just for the campaign notes, not the people and plots, which is a separate one. 25 pages on Word and 12,628 words.
Hmm.
And that's with the epilogues included. And what is the people and plots?
I just want you guys to know, you are currently in the Age of Arcana, and it is the year 4157.
I've got 965 lines.
Just shy of 2,000 words on my people and plots.
Oh, wow.
Though, granted, that one didn't really get a lot of updates once I was done with it.
Words?
Most of that is just static. Yeah.
Would
Words.
Google... I wonder, would Google Doc
Yeah, it goes
count
and tells
words?
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
it does.
Yeah, the Google Docs does count words.
okay, so
Yeah.
whoa. Word count. All right, I've got 5,015 words in my vigilante notes.
Ah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So
I mean, it was like almost a year, so you know.
Yeah. And across all the things that I wrote down, I think, yeah, that's a little less than half of the words I put down on my notes
Mm.
on my end.
Here-
Granted, a lot of my stuff also has dialogue in it and other things like that.
Right.
So,
Let's just here. I'm just gonna pick a random line. Okay.
oh boy.
Cobalt Sanctum, Temple and Gigantic Library, knowing Mistress Ayune, monks teach spellcasters, sister location in Almaria, more of a Library of Congress.
Yeah. You want to know where that sister location is, actually?
Ooh, yes.
Since you got a little bit of hint of that. It was in Marseille.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, Marseille was known as the capital of art and song. It's kind of, it and the region around it in Almaria is based heavily off of, like, you know, medieval to Renaissance French and Italy kind of culture. I typically use names from those eras for people who are from there. Do my best to make an accent for them. And then the Storm King showed up and was like, mine, and then blew it up. Or blew some of it up. So yeah, that's what my my Sunday group is dealing with now.
Good luck to them.
They'll need it. He's got a flying fortress with basically a super weapon on it. He has 2 adult dragons that call him father. So yeah. And an army of giants, orcs, and other adjacent creatures.
You say that's
So-
what Legs Group is going up against.
Yeah. That's what my Sunday group, so it's yeah.
What level are they?
They're 11. They'll probably be 12 or 13 by the time they go up against the Storm King. They're currently in the Underdark right now, trying to get the dwarves on their side, which will be super useful.
How heavy of a knoll presence is there?
Small. More so near the Stoutwall Aldwatch in the near the Darude Desert.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because their region inside the mountains was very desert-like.
It was.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Time to tame me a
fucking-
knoll.
Wasn't Eugene from Denravi?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's Denravi like now?
Not too much the same. It's bigger. Parts are much more seedier. Um, then Ravi is home of the Colosseum.
Ooh.
Well, you
So-
know, without what's his name there to go and act as a guard, things get out of hand.
The warden.
Yeah, without
Um,
Isaac.
Yeah, so there's legitimate fighting arenas in most major cities, but the big one is the Colosseum.
Nice.
I'm
about,
assuming is it's as popular in as it here as it is in Rome, so to speak.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
Nice. Okay.
What happened? What happened to Silona's hometown, Stathmore?
Stathmore.
Sinkhole.
I mean, so not much really changes in the cities. You know, cities are cities. They evolve and they change with the times. You know, now there's things like alchemists and the mage school and stuff like that. But aside from that, no, you know, I don't plan big changes.
Yeah,
You know,
I gotcha.
religion is a much bigger deal there.
My main man, Pelor. Great times 50,000 grandfather, I guess. However long that goes back.
Just one drop of blood in
Wait.
your system.
Do we have a cleric?
No,
You got half a cleric.
you
Oh,
have
fuck.
you have a paladin, a ranger, a monk, a wizard, and a warlock fighter.
Oh fuck! I am so glad that I took Cure Wounds then. Holy shit!
Yeah, I can put that on if need be too, but it's not really Kadok's style.
He wants to inflict wounds.
Yeah. It's always prepared. I can't not have it.
Right?
But it's only a +5 to hit, so it's kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's fine. Paladins using spells for spell effects is weak shit.
Yeah, plus, you got that fucking great sword.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
I only have a +5 for my attacks. I think
Oof.
I have a +6 for my javelin, but everything else is a +5.
Ooh boy.
I don't know. I should probably go and swap my wisdom and strength scores, but
Oh,
I
I
don't
forgot. I forgot. If you guys, if I totally forgot to tell you guys, if you rolled shit enough, I don't know what standard array is, but if you rolled so bad that standard array is better, you can take standard array.
What is standard?
standard array I think goes and gives you
It's like
it's like an
15.
8, a 10,
Yeah, I think it's 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 or something. I don't know.
something like that. Yeah.
But
D&D
if you-
Beyond knows.
If you want standard array, you can swap to standard array.
I think I'm slightly better than standard array.
Uh, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8.
Ability scores.
I am very tempted. I may have to go and run a hypothetical and duplicate and test.
Hold on,
But-
I gotta go see what my base rolls are because I have some ability score improvements. Let's see. I have a 16,
Come with me, laptop.
10,
Let's go.
12.
Oh, I just got a new laptop from my work.
yeah?
My old one, which was not bad. It's like maybe 6 years old. The front, like the bottom front, started splitting. Like the plastic was spreading.
Ooh.
So I took a picture of it and I sent it to the IT and they and he looked and said, "Oh yeah, your battery's swelling. I'll send you to it."
Jeez.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah,
That's real bad.
that's not good.
Okay, so my point total is the same as standard array. It's just split around differently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the standard race point total?
72.
Oh.
Oh shit, I think I've got the same then.
Nah, I want to keep that. I want to keep that 16 strength though. That's the thing. That's fine. I can live with it. Would like my charisma to just, I don't know, go one higher, but that's fine. I'll keep it where it is. If we get a level, I'm... Oh wait, no, because we won't get another... I won't get another ability score improvement until 11, I think.
12.
Oh, 12, yeah. Yeah, 12, yeah. Never mind. I'll deal with it. Use the spells that don't have saving throws or attack rolls. Let's go. Or smites, one of the two.
Let's see.
Dimitri looks up at Mercanen and says, "Guys, I think it's the DM."
That's metagame.
Yes.
I don't guarantee an ending like that, by the way. I can't promise you're going to meet God again.
At least not like that.
Oh, in the words of Aslan, things never happen the same way twice.
Do not recite the old magics to me, witch. I was there when they were written.
It's one of my favorite quotes of all time.
It's the only one that I remember from the movie.
The movies are... Okay, they have a fun place in my heart. I'll leave it at that.
The first one is legitimately fun. All the other ones afterwards were just kind of meh, honestly.
Yeah, I like the second one just purely because like I'm very interested just in like a concept of like the old kings being summoned and now they're back 1,000 years later. It's like, oh my god, you know, like you're here, like, you know. But and then I just like I'd love to incorporate that into like a campaign sometime. I don't know. Oh, Cobra, like what if we blew a horn and there's Eugene and Silona and Warden and
Oh boy.
Oh, there is a horn that does that though.
Fight the old PCs.
No, there's a horn that does that.
Well, there's the one that summons like the berserkers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You have to at least have, I think, simple weapon proficiency for them to not be hostile to you.
Horn of
Gondor.
No, I
Oh,
think
Because Gondor calls for aid.
And
If
Rohan
you-
will answer.
If your current party summoned the old party wouldn't be too keen on you guys.
Oh no. Silona would take one look at Kadok and just sense something and be like, no.
No for me, dog.
That's gonna be a no for me, dog. How's a fireball treat you? Oh, or better yet, the 5th level spell that she learned right at the end of the campaign, Dawn,
Ooh.
which is like bigger radiant fireball.
I like that.
Yeah.
So let's see, what did my game plan look like here for shit? Shit, I don't even remember why I went and took initiate. Oh, that's why.
I'm gonna test to make sure my beyond 20 works. Let's just do there. Oh God, wasted it.
Well done.
Fucking wasted it. Ah, pain. Fuck.
Do I wanna know?
I rolled a 20. What the fuck on my test roll?
That's what I did in that fight. You gave me control of Lucia. Is I did a click to test it. I rolled a 20 for her.
Yeah.
And that was the last to be had.
I still cannot fucking believe your halfling luck never came up.
Not fucking once.
It's like, how? With all of everybody else was just stealing your ones.
I wish I had a counter of how many 20s I rolled for that campaign.
Yeah, I want to know how many 2s you rolled. You probably rolled a lot of 20s in that game. Let me tell you.
I just mean D20. How many D20s I rolled for
Oh,
to
well, you're a
never
monk
know.
a lot. So
It's like every round. All right, well I'm attacking. Here's 4.
yeah. I mean, at worst, 2. So
Yeah.
man.
To mention all the skill checks and shit.
Oh yeah, Mr. Investigator. Oh yeah, did I ever tell you guys what Hostile was in terms of his warlock patron?
I think Leg said he suspected the Great or the Fae.
He was a Fae. He was a Fae lock.
Who was his patron? Did you have that worked out?
I had like a rough idea. Basically, the idea was he, when he left his people, when he realized that, like he finally had a mind for himself and he realized how fucked everything was, he, he ran away, found his way into a secluded piece of the jungle that, his people were not, following him to. Had to kind of survive in there for a little bit. Ate something he shouldn't have, had a fucking wild trip, and then slowly the memories came back to him a few weeks later of signing a pact with a Fae.
Nice.
Like, yeah. Basically, like, the mushrooms were, like, in, like, a spot that was touched by a, tropical part of the Feywild, and he kind of astrally projected for a little bit and made a pact with the Fae so that he could fight back and get away from his people. And in return, the Fae was like, hey, go to a place of civilization, and I want you to write gossip in a book for me and send it my way. And so that book is his tome. So I'm pretty sure he was a tome lock as well.
Nice.
And that's why he was an information broker, so he could get juicy gossip.
And we fucking provided.
Yeah, you did. His patron was very happy.
I do want to point out, I don't have 15 Mardukes across my map. So when you encounter cities, they're not going to be that deep.
That's fine. I have a lot of tile sets, and I want to make use of them. I spent good money on those. I'm going to use them. That's only just because I'm really bad at doing, like, just drawing stuff on a grid. So I'm very particular about a lot of that stuff. If I can just take a tile set or just a plain map and just throw it down and put some stuff on it, that's way easier for me.
Yeah.
And plus, I mean, send some money to creators on Roll20. Let them have some of that, and not the people who run it. Assuming that they still run it. I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah, God only knows. Let's see.
Do you know how to change the name of a campaign on Roll20?
It's a very
I
good
believe
question.
that's something I gotta do.
No, on Roll20.
Oh, on roll. Oh shit. Yeah, that I don't know.
Let me look. Oh, not Resurgence. Let me look on one of mine. If you click on the name of it, not launch game, on your game list, if you go to settings, I think you can go to game settings. I think you can change it in there.
Yeah, that's
Maybe?
where I'm at.
I don't see it. Yeah, leave. Content. Oh, if you just click the title when you're in the like detail screen, before going into like settings and whatnot.
Oh,
Uh,
jeez.
yeah. Well, see, that's one of the things where it's like, you would think they have a little thing like underneath where it says like click to change or something like that. I don't know. It's always something stupid and simple. Well, oh fuck. I gotta work early. I'm gonna have to dip out now because I gotta be up in like 7 hours. So I gotta go to bed.
You want to hear my super edgy
dude.
backstory before you go?
Sure.
Okay, I've been tinkering with the voices. I'm between bad Christopher Lee and Christopher Lambert.
Oh my god.
Please go Christopher Lambert.
You think so?
Oh, it'll be terrible.
I think you need to go Christopher Walken.
I have
whoa,
always
whoa.
been at the Bastion, though to you it was almost 3 years ago.
Okay, we didn't say Eddie Murphy.
I'm gonna dip. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, man. Take it easy.
No, I'm just
Alright.
kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. I'm gonna work on the voice. Okay. I have always been at the Bastion, though to you it was almost 3 years ago when I first set foot in Bastion d'Antel. Before this, my life was a meandering waste without purpose. In my own misguided way, I studied the arcane, fumbling around in the dark. Though at the time I suppose I thought myself a wizard, and it was my right to study at the finest school. Nothing less than Brightwater would do. But the fools, they did not see my potential, my destiny. Perhaps it was lack of sleep, or my focus was set upon the blinding possibility of my own future, but I did not perform to my own standard. No matter, Brightwater's star fell long ago, never to rise again. Better not waste time there. When I returned home, not home, home is here with the Baron. When I returned to Valandral, my contemporaries scorned me for having failed at Brightwater. They said I had crawled back to study there with those of whom I thought myself better, which it appeared to them had been thoroughly disproven. How wrong they were. I didn't mean to kill anyone. My power can be hard to control at times, but the fire was beautiful, cleansing, pure. The echo of the scream stood witness to my coming into my own. They rang out against the blood-stained cobblestone like a bell announcing the coming of my destiny, of his destiny, the Baron. Only with more power could I make this right, to prove that their sacrifice was necessary for the greater vision I now serve. For 5 long years I searched for this power, following rumors into the mountains. They led me here, to Bastion d'Antel. He gave me shelter. He gave me power. He gave me purpose. The Baron turned on the light when no one else could. But now I see. I have always been at the Bastion, for there was nothing before, and there can be nothing after.
Damn. Nice.
Hold on.
You thought Quinn was a pizza cutter.
Dude, dude, I got serious like Caleb Widowgast vibes, but like way more.
Oh,
Like,
well.
nega Caleb.
I may tone it down a bit. I'm just
That's
tinkering.
fine,
I'm
dude.
just tinkering.
It's fine. Here's mine. Here's mine.
Yeah, hit me with it.
I'm not gonna do the voice for the entire thing because I don't want my throat to die. Let's see. For most of his life, Kadok knew only faith. He persevered through the training of becoming a paladin in service to Bahamut, despite the prejudices he faced as a chromatic dragonborn, helmed mostly from his rival, a silver dragonborn named Kalugar Astelek. 5 years ago, he and some of his fellow paladins, I have to actually change that because not all of them are paladins, including Kalugar, were tasked with retrieving an artifact from the Underdark. Their expedition lasted nearly a month, but they found what they had sought. Unfortunately, his companions left him for dead when beset by the denizens of the Underdark. Kadok would survive this encounter, but found himself stranded in the subterranean nightmare, and his prayers left unanswered for weeks. In a rage, he destroyed his holy symbol, renouncing his faith and swearing vengeance on his comrades. Strangely enough, in that moment, his prayers were answered, but not by Bahamut. The scaled tyrant Tiamat, impressed by Kadok's rage, offered him a chance at revenge. He would first have to reach a nearby coven of her followers, and then he would have to pass their initiation trials. Kadok, fueled by anger and sheer willpower, completed every twisted rite they threw at him. Then came the final trial. Only one would be allowed to become one of Tiamat's chosen warriors. With nothing but his claws and teeth, he slew the 4 other initiates and earned his place. Now he travels the surface, doing Tiamat's bidding, all the while searching for those who wronged him.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
He has not been at the Bastion for very long, probably a month.
Okay.
So very new. Yeah.
We'll probably get along.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna like you. I like your funny words, Magic Man. That's kind of what I'm going for with Kadok. Just this kind of voice. Low, gravelly.
Ooh.
The occasional snarl.
It just reminds me of Sam Riegel, where it's like when he introduced Not.
Yeah.
He's like,
hello, I'm gonna do this voice the entire time.
exactly. It's like, yeah, I'm locking into this voice for 2 years.
I'm locking into this one for 2 years, motherfuckers.
Like 200 sessions talking like that. Ugh.
Not completely.
Right, yeah.
Because at one point something does change, but he does stay high pitched the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. Kadok's he's a fun guy. He's really great to be around. He really brightens up the room.
Yeah, I think so. Throw that. I mean, if you get a chance, throw that in your character sheet. I want to read it later again.
It is in my character sheet. I'll put it in the character chat because I don't think you can. That's in my notes section, which I don't think other players can see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But do this.